Would you join me in an evil laugh, gentlemen? Grim, join in. Join in. Fair enough. People often ask me, James, Stephanie, what's up with your dick? But when they're not asking that, they ask me, James, Stephanie, how long can you keep a Waddle Dee balanced on your hat? Let's find out. The answer is probably indefinitely. It's got like real sturdy feet that are a bit like weighted with like beads or something. And the top of the hat's really flat, so. Not one person has ever asked me whether I can balance a Waddle Dee on my head. They're too busy asking about my D! This past week, Sony made a positively huge and hugely positive announcement for PC gaming. The critically acclaimed PS4 exclusive God of War would be an exclusive no longer, and is set to come to PC in early 2022. This appears to be a trend for Sony, as God of War will be following in the footsteps of another PS4 exclusive coming to PC, Horizon Zero Dawn. For most people, this is exciting news. More games coming to the PC platform is good for people who play games on PC, obviously, and it's good for the games themselves. After years on a single console, coming to an entirely new platform can breathe extra life into the sales of a game, introducing it to an entirely fresh fan base for both short and long-term success. For fans of the games themselves, this should be seen as a positive. If you truly love a game, then more people getting to play is great. Surely you'd want more people to enjoy something you enjoyed, or at the very least you'd think the game you love so much deserved to reach as big an audience as possible, if it's so good. Which the 2018 God of War is, by the way. It's very good. It's got an axe in it. However, we are talking about the gaming community, and as such, there's plenty of sheer fucking misery, territorialism and outrage to go around. Like with Horizon Zero Dawn coming to PC, the announcement of the God of War port was met with cheers by some and tearful enraged contempt by others. Extremely disappointing that they're wasting time and resources for PC instead of the PlayStation players who have supported this company through the good times and the bad, said one fan, hilariously expecting a return on their misguided faithfulness. The problem with PlayStation is they hate their fans, argued another wounded soul. They really have a deep hatred for us. I don't know why. We adore the developers and personalities, and then they do stuff like this. It is actually so terrible to be a PlayStation fan now. It's so terrible. I really want to know why Sony, PlayStation hate their fans and long-time customers so much. If you didn't feel it was worth getting a PS4 to play GAO and the other exclusives, you don't deserve to play any of them because you don't value them. Traitors, liars, mercenary. PlayStation games never shouldn't be on PC. I don't think they actually intended to say that the way they said that. You are giving the game community that didn't help build PlayStation traitors. Wait, I've got to read that one again. PlayStation games never shouldn't be on PC. You are giving the game community that didn't help the build PlayStation traitors. What? This was the biggest spit in the face of PlayStation gamers. There is no forgiveness for this. We must stop supporting PlayStation. Here, have one last comment. Crazy. You know all the PC communities are going to do is put Kratos in a bright green mankini. And with that comment, I leave it to our art director Justin to do what he knows he needs to do. These were culled just from the comment section of the official PlayStation blog, but you won't have to look very hard to find spicy resentment from overzealous console simps who have spent years going to bat and acting as unpaid PR for multi-billion-dollar corporations and have suddenly found out that their loyalty doesn't actually mean a damn thing. For such people, I would hope they take this as a harsh lesson on the reality of capitalism. That what they're doing isn't seen as support. Companies make products. You buy products. That's as deep as the relationship should go, because if you're expecting any love back from Daddy Corpo, then you'll be as disappointed as I was when I expected love from my actual parents. Now, is it low-hanging fruit to go after console zealots? Yes. But is it funny to do so? Yeah. I'm not going to lie and act as if mocking PlayStation-loving weirdos who view gaming products as an emotional zero-sum game isn't easy, and I'm not going to pretend there's some valuable, insightful reason to do so. The comments are stupid, the melodrama is hilarious, and the sense of self-entitlement is so severe as to make any outside observer feel instantly better about their own lives. It's not hard to make fun of extreme console fans. All you have to do is just read out exactly what they say, word for word, in a bit of a whiny voice. Nonetheless, I still find it fascinating that people get this upset over the idea of more people accessing a game they profess to love. The attitudes that come with that upset, the declarations over who deserves to play video games, they interest me in a frustrated, exasperated sort of way. It should be said that, as usual, the game industry itself can shoulder a hefty portion of the blame for outrage in the gaming community. It's something they helped contrive and stoke. Exclusivity has long been the carrot on the stick for platform holders looking to coax more customers to their side of the fence. Both Sony and Microsoft spent previous generations extolling the virtues of PlayStation and Xbox based almost entirely on who had the better exclusive games, and when such exclusivity fell out of favour with audience-hungry third-party publishers, the platforms resorted to increasingly desperate measures, securing deals with these publishers to have timed exclusives, or exclusive downloadable content, anything to try and assure customers that they'd made the best decision buying their console. Clearly, to some fans, this was seen as a return on their loyalty, a reward for their investment, but their perspective is utterly warped. Where they see exclusives as a carrot, I see them as a stick. They're not meant to reward loyal fans, but to punish the unloyal ones. The entire idea is to breed FOMO, the fear of missing out, to let those without their hardware know that they can't have something. Exclusivity doesn't give you anything. It takes things away from others. Nowhere does this withholding behaviour become more apparent than with exclusive content for non-exclusive games. When, for example, Square Enix announces that Spider-Man will be exclusive to the PlayStation version of Marvel's Avengers, all while it charges the same for every version of the game, they're effectively selling inferior products for the same amount of money. Effectively, Avengers on Xbox is Avengers with less content, and yet the Xbox version costs the same as the PlayStation version. This is something Sony is happy to encourage, a move that effectively screws over anybody buying the game anywhere else. That nobody in the game industry sees this as a problem, that it's normalized to the point where withholding content is seen as a bonus for PlayStation rather than a punishment for everyone else, speaks volumes about how warped perspectives in the industry have become. We've been trained to see exclusivity as a bonus, as a reward, as something extra given to one set of customers rather than something gated off from another. But exclusivity is the latter. It's a gate to keep people out as much as it might be a lure to draw them in. It's content as ransom. And when you're dealing with companies that ransom art, you should never, ever be surprised to see them fuck you. They're happy to fuck everyone else in pursuit of market share and cash. Why the hell wouldn't companies that trade in withholding fuck you too? A common theme among angry PlayStation fans is the sense they were with Sony from the start, supported and maintained it, and therefore they deserve exclusives where others don't. In reality, as I said earlier, all that happened is they wanted a product and bought a product, and that's as far as it went. You didn't help Sony, you were used by Sony. You're a tool, a delivery method for the resource Sony needs. money. This is as far as any corporation sees you. They may tell you they love you, that you're part of their family, but corporate environments tell their own staff that shit and they only see them as mere resources, as bodies to be utilised rather than people with agency. There's a reason why they call human resources at these companies. They sure as fuck don't see the customer as anything but a swollen money udder ready to be insquozened, a word that my spell checker has apparently not flagged. Insquozened. If it wasn't a word, it is now. I've been in one-sided relationships in my life. They hurt. They make you feel exploited, abandoned, and like you deserve better. The moment you put emotional stock in a huge company that is driven entirely by the hunger for revenue, you have entered a one-sided relationship. And the sense of betrayal is inevitable. Although in this case it isn't really a betrayal, you're not owed exclusivity just because you bought a hunk of plastic. And PC users getting God of War years after it could only be played on PlayStation really isn't a problem at all for anybody. Nobody's been inconvenient. Well, the PC gamers were. They had to wait. Some ask, what's the point of owning a console if all the games are just going to inevitably come to PC? And that's actually not a bad question. There are some obvious answers. If FOMO matters to you, then consoles get you access to games potentially years quicker. There's also the fact that consoles are popular because they're easy. You can just plug it in and know that the game is optimized and works for your system, unless ironically it's a badly produced PC port or something similar to that. But for PlayStation fans who already have powerful PCs and could actually wait, then yeah, maybe you shouldn't keep spending money on these systems. Maybe you ought to just rein in your need to spend money immediately. And maybe it'd be a better world if we all just needed one machine to play all the games we want. In fact, it literally would be better for everybody. No console wars, no walled gardens, no gatekeeping. Just an endless fucking fight over which company has the best graphics cards that you can't even buy because nobody has them. Oh wait, that's not good. Corporations are not your friend. That is what they say because it is a correct statement. Well, things aren't correct just because people say them. People say all sorts of bollocks. But anyway, speaking of bollocks that people say, corporations do not love you. They don't care about you, so they don't hate you either. Oh, it's gone. It's gone, everyone. We saw with some of those angry comments from PlayStation fans this belief that Sony's doing it out of spite, out of contempt, that they hate their fans. They don't care about you. You are a wallet to them. They don't see you, they see what's in your pockets. Something, capitalism bad, you know the drill by now, thank God for me. And before I go, people who don't care about the wrestling stuff, you can turn it off now, episode done. But anyone who gives a shit, I have accepted a match at Rise Wrestling, the company I run in Pittsburgh. I've accepted an I Quit match. You want to fight me? I'm happy to fight you. And I say we do it in an I Quit match.
That is a huge stipulation.
Now it's December 11th. Yes, it's December 11th, not the 13th. December 11th at the Howe Building in Pittsburgh. I am fighting Rise's owner, Brandon Kay. I am the commissioner.
Whoever quits loses their power at Rise.
That is, the stakes have never been higher.
I'm gonna try to get on the commander's side. Maybe I'll get something out of him.
Look, this has been a power struggle for too long. This has to end at the anniversary show.
Oh my, yes.
Wow.
I'm hoping to be able to live stream it on Twitch TV/Jim Sterling. We will see. But I'm very excited about it. An I Quit match, this will be my first one of those. It's a very simple match type. There are no rules other than the one who says the words I quit loses the match. It is going to be brutal, it is going to be violent, it is going to be one of the most physically punishing thing I've ever done in pro wrestling. So won't that be exciting? Especially when James, step on me Sterling, grinds Brandon Kay under my boot heel. It's going to be delicious. And then everyone at Rise, and everyone in pro wrestling will thank God for me. That's it. That's all I needed to say. Oh, no, New Jersey, January 15th, 2022. It's a little ways away. But I'll be there as Commander Sterling again for Wrestlers Lab, their next show, Chemical MV. So that's exciting as well. That's it, done plugging. Well, patreon.com/Jimquisition. Yeah, you can look at that if you want. Gives me money. I don't look at you as just a wallet. I'm not Sony. But, you know.